So Steve, when I make a motion, I didn't bring my glasses in there. When I make a motion, you'll have to do the motions where they're long and you have to read them.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I'll do it.
Good morning. Welcome to Marshall County Board of Supervisors regular session today, April 10th, 2024, here in the first floor meeting room. Notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You're requested to approach to the podium right over here and use the microphones. Those microphones are for the recordings so that we can get that on our YouTube channel and Zoom and all that good stuff. So state your name, address, limit time used to present your remarks so that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda is for the chair to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call vote will follow. Start with the roll call, please.
Heil.
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Hibbs.
Yes.
And could you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for that. We have a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on that today? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Heil.
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Hibbs.
Yes.
I'm going to go a little off script here for a brief moment. I want to, on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, send our condolences upstairs to the clerk of court for the loss of Les George. She had been working in the clerk of court's office for nearly 24 years. So if anyone's been here in the courthouse, you've seen that familiar face for many, many years. And even though that's a state office and this is a county facility, we're all public servants to all the public, and Les did that wonderfully for many, many years. And so our condolences to the clerk of court's office, Carol Haney's office. Hard times for them upstairs this week and for days to come, and for her family. And so any other comments on that?
Said it well.
So best wishes to them upstairs. And on to consent agenda. 5A, approve claims as audited. Approve claims as audited and authorize the auditor recorder to issue the payment of the same. The listing of the claims paid at this meeting and all claims paid in the current month will be published as part of the first meeting of the following month. Personnel changes. We have conservation seasonal workers approved new hire seasonal naturalist intern Bill Carey at $15.25 an hour to start on or after May 20th, 2024, ending August 31st, 2024. Approve new hire seasonal conservation aide Julie Stahl at $15.50 an hour to start on or after April 10th, 2024, and ending on October 1st, 2024. 5C, file manure management plans, PI 341, finisher number 67142, 1422 Davison Avenue, St. Anthony, signed with no changes. Banger Finisher Farm, number 59034, 1326 Hopkins Avenue, Union, signed with changes. Aaron Borton, number 65862, 1359 140th Street in Liberty, signed with no changes. Tri-Oak Foods, number 61016, 1131 140th Street, St. Anthony, signed with no changes. JT Farms East Site, number 63208, 2348 290th Street, Haverhill, signed with no changes. 5D, approved change of the Marshalltown City 3rd Ward polling location, and that is the conclusion of the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
We have the motion in a second. Do we have any discussion? Nan, can we get clarification of where from the polling location change and where to, or just an update that you have on that? 5D.
Thank you. We are looking at two different locations right now, and we've got, we're looking at two different churches, is what we're looking at. The MAC is been, they charged us, one time it was 15 something, and the other time it was close to 1,800. So they're charging us the nonprofit rate per hour, and then charging us the amount when we drop off because the employee had to be on location on Monday. So that's way more than any other location. Jesse and I were at training last Wednesday, and we asked about, what folks are paying. The highest anyone was paying was $300 in any county.
Oh, wow.
On the, we went out to Denison. That's where we were for that side. Sarah went as well. We are paying the Green Mountain Community Building. We pay $100 there. So, just nobody's paying prices like that. A lot of folks are in schools as well. Some of the larger, like Lynn County, they use the schools. There is legislation right now to.
Do you think the church is are they viable options? Or
Yes,
do you think
they're-
it'll be?
Yes,
Okay.
they're both very viable options.
Okay.
The ADA accessibility
Okay,
is very good in both churches.
good.
So that's a.
And they're open to hosting? Okay.
They're open to hosting. There's a lot of conversations they need to have with their parishioners.
Okay,
There's always a little bit of, public, some public is not real receptive to being in churches.
right.
But they can always come and vote elsewhere. We did kind of think about the American Legion as well, because that is in Third Ward. But in June, being a big golfing time,
Yeah,
that doesn't work real well. So we just
Yeah.
thought that
Yeah.
didn't, the parking.
and you're looking for permanent, like.
Permanent,
a
we are
permanent,
looking
yeah.
for a permanent location. When we set the polling location following the census, we weren't informed that was going to be a rate that was charged. Previously, there was no charge. So we hadn't gotten that notification at that time. So, yeah. And then we have to communicate with all the folks. We will send out, they will all receive something in the mail. And if it is, Jarrett and his wife, 2 things go in the mail to each individual person.
Makes sense. And I think just for clarification, the board doesn't necessarily have to approve this.
It's more, we want it out there as
Yes.
much as we can, just to inform folks.
Yeah, we'll throw that on our meeting again when you finally
When we
it
get the final
finalized.
location, we'll put it out there again, absolutely. We just want it to be, but I've communicated on the radio as well. We just want to get it out there.
Good deal. Any other comment on the consent agenda? All right, hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes,
Number 7, schedule special Board of Supervisors meeting on June 26, 2024. Entertain motions?
I would make a motion that we schedule a special Board of Supervisors meeting on June 26, 2024 for an additional claims run prior to the fiscal year end.
Second.
We have the motion and the second. Any discussion on this item?
That request is coming from our accounting office, and if you recall, last year we did that kind of at the department heads asking for, and we were kind of scrambling this past year, and it's just kind of how our calendar fell. And I thought, let's be proactive and just get it on the calendar this year and be ready for it and have a quick little meeting then and get it done.
Not a problem. Easy for us to do.
Yeah. Versus scrambling at the last minute and doing it that way, so everybody will be
Handwritten
ready
checks
for
don't
it.
need to be done. We can just do the meeting and have the normal process and get her done.
Well, we appreciate that, because it'll be easier and we can plan for it that way.
Yes.
And way less payables to deal with in the audit also then at the end of the year.
Yes. All right. Any other further discussion on this item? Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes,
On to number 8. This will be Marshtown Mall rent checks discussion, possible action. I believe we've been holding payments for a few months now.
We have, if you want me to provide clarification, so we have held checks, we cut the check, normally the second claims run of each month, and that check is for the next month's rent. So we have the November 23 and the December 23 forward, so it'd be for the following month's rent that we've held forward. And we have those checks, and we're approaching that 6-month mark, which makes checks no longer valid as we're approaching that. And I just wanted to, kind of alert you all and see what you want us to do.
Has anything changed in their status?
No, it has not that we know of, but really they're meeting all the requirements
Do we have
of
power?
our lease. We've always had power
Yeah.
because we pay
We pay our
Alliant
own utility bill.
direct, and I think the last we heard, and Lucas may need to help me, they are boxing up information to go out for additional scanning of the court documents. So I think they're getting ready kind of for that final phase of things going out. There is approximately 1,000 of the large books that are similar to my real estate books that are up in the stack room that are not going to be scanned, which was not what I originally understood. And Steve, you were in those upfront conversations, and what was your understanding on their records that were gonna get scanned?
Well, that, it was going to happen over a period of time.
Did you understand it was everything?
I wasn't clear on that.
Okay,
Wasn't clear on that.
okay. So we have to find a home for about 1,000 books.
Do we have access to that from the outside?
There's an external
Okay.
door, kind of where the drive-through used to be, for where US Bank used to be. There's a door kind of right there where that.
But our plan is to phase out of.
We will
out
move
there,
out
yeah.
of there, yes. When they take those final boxes to go scan, we can get out of that facility and find a new home for those
And we don't have a
books.
timeline for that yet, or we
We
do?
have not heard a timeline.
Okay.
There was some issues with the indexing on their scanning that they were working through. That meeting was a couple weeks ago, so because the boxing is starting to happen, I'm thinking that has been worked through. I was gonna bug Carol before this meeting, and then with the happenings this week, I didn't bother her.
Has the mall been pressing us for these?
We have not heard a single word, which is so weird.
And would you say they've fulfilled all the obligations in their contract with us?
With us, they have.
Okay.
We probably don't have a right to hold those checks then, do we?
Well, I'd say we have the right to. I think the question for us is to decide, well, since they're fulfilling the contract, do we pay it? Or is it, well, as a governmental body, representative of the people with what's current situation with our community in dealing with them all, is it the stand we just take that we continue to hold these off? With, which I believe that other tenants are doing the exact same from what I've understood. And I'm comfortable with either decision and what we want to do.
Could this come back and bite us later?
No.
Could there be lawsuits of any kind?
I don't
or-
think so, because we would pay it.
We would just pay it then.
We have not received a correspondence requesting the payment.
Okay, they did pay the September, but they have, March payment is still outstanding for the, property tax, so, thanks, Deanne. So, we knew that was paid, I was curious on that one.
So they owe us for the last 6 months then, or a year ago.
So September's, the first half was paid, not second half.
Dean, can you clarify, was there a tax sale on that that's being paid for?
They paid tax sales.
And so even, there is no certificate out there that a certificate holder paid those taxes, the actual mall paid? Perfect, thank you.
Well, let's at least hold those checks
Till
until
they, yeah.
till they pay their
That's my
taxes.
thought. Let's, once they're current on paying their property taxes, then we would release the checks.
And we can always, if it gets past the 6 months, we can always void those old ones and reissue.
No, I think that's a good plan of attack. I mean, this has just been an unfortunate thing for our whole community and
Yeah.
dealing with them all, and all the tenants that have been there and left, the ones still dealing with out there. I think this is a fair way for us to take the stance that we're in disagreement with how they're conducting themselves, and at the same time, if things prevail, we'll certainly fulfill our duty in paying, and we will pay if they follow up with us. But the fact that we've heard nothing from them, and if the people that are out there at the mall are hearing nothing from them, well, then they'll hear nothing from us until that point in time.
It's,
So Deanne, will you notify us then if they make their tax payment, and then we can take the next steps?
cool.
All right, did we have to take any particular action, or is that,
No. That just, you'll direct Deanne and I accordingly, and
Yeah.
that's great, thank you. I just know my staff was concerned as the pile was growing.
yeah. All right, thank you for everybody working on that. Item number 9, approve new lease contract for copiers in the Department of Health and Human Services Office and authorize the chair to sign. This is part of, we have to run all leases through a board meeting, so even
Because
though,
it's more than 1 year. It goes into future budget years, so leases need to go through the Board of Supervisors.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the new lease contract for the copiers in the Department of Health and Human Services Office and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second.
we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Number 10, approve transfer of funds. This is the transfer of funds, number 946, quarterly transfer, $700,000 from rural services to secondary roads.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of funds number 946, a quarterly transfer of $700,000 from the Rural Services Fund to the Secondary Roads Fund.
I'll second that.
All right, we have the motion and the second. Any further discussion on this item? Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Number 11, approve transfer of funds. So this is approving transfer funds number 947. It's one-time transfer of $1,894,156.21 from the capital projects to the general basic of the remaining balance from courthouse renovation back into general basic fund.
I'll make a motion that we approve the transfer of funds number 947, which is a one-time transfer of $1,894,156.21 from capital projects to general basic of the remaining balance from the courthouse renovation back to general basic.
I'll second.
We have the motion second. Discussion.
This is our insurance proceeds, and as anyone kind of knows, it's dealt with insurance money. You have to pay for it first, and then insurance reimburses you. So this is us putting the insurance money back in general basic. I'll just go ahead and speak. Our plan was to put it in general supplemental. We cannot go do a transfer directly to general supplemental, so the next item is moving it from general basic to general supplemental.
Perfect.
There's all these rules
Yep.
in governmental accounting, so.
Thank you for that explanation. Any other further discussion on this item? Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right, and now that's the next transfer, approved transfer of funds. Fund number 948, a one-time transfer of $1,894,200 from general basic to the general supplemental to help with low general supplemental levy rate and still be able to cover expenses and maintain appropriate fund balance. Entertain a motion.
Carol,
It's your turn, Steve.
it is my turn, all right. Make a motion to approve a transfer of funds number 948, a one-time transfer of $1,894,200 from general basic to general supplemental to help with the low general supplemental levy rate and still be able to cover expenses and maintain an appropriate fund balance.
I'll second that.
All right, we have the motion in the second. Any further discussion on this?
Are we just rounding up on this?
Yes. See, Maria's still working even when she's not working.
Excellent. All right, roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Number 13, secondary roads fiscal year 2024 Iowa DOT budget amendment. This is to approve the secondary roads budget amendment for current year that we're in.
I'll make the motion that we approve the secondary roads FY 2024 Iowa DOT budget amendment.
I'll second.
All right, the motion in the second. Paul, what do you have to share for us on this?
Paul Garland, Phillip County Engineer. This is just basically reporting to the DOT the same numbers that we just had in our recently approved, but yesterday approved budget amendment for fiscal '24.
Excellent.
And the next one is the same. 13 and 14.
Excellent. All right. Any other questions for Paul on this item?
No.
We have the motion in the second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Number 14, secondary roads, fiscal year 25, Iowa DOT budget.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the secondary roads fiscal year 2025 Iowa DOT budget.
I'll second that.
All right, we have the motion in the second. Discussion, Paul.
It's the same numbers of our recently approved fiscal '25 budget, just there's less line items in the DOT budget, but the totals are the same, the big numbers match.
Excellent. Any further discussion? Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Number 15, secondary roads, Marshall County fiscal year 25 secondary roads construction program.
I'll make a motion that we approve the secondary roads Marshall County FY 2025 secondary roads construction program.
I'll second.
We have the motion in the second. Discussion. Paul?
This is our annual program that we turn into the DOT that lays out our project development as far as projects that we're gonna let to contract. And it's not a lock on everything. If it's in the accomplishment year, not everything in the accomplishment year gets accomplished, but what I always say is that we can't let a project that's not programmed. So they have to be in here first before they can move on to actually getting let to bid. And there's times when projects get moved, so a year that it may be in can be moved forward or back depending on project development. If there's an approval that we need from an environmental situation or a cultural situation, we can kind of jockey them around. But I tend to put more projects in the program than what we can actually build, so that if something gets delayed, something else can move in and still get let.
Excellent. Well, thank you for putting that together and getting ahead of the game on all the potential opportunities in 5 years and beyond, of course, which is good. So, any questions, comments for Paul?
It also lines out our funding and different mechanisms that we're gonna fund the projects with. Many of our projects have been in the program for quite a while, so it's safe to say that with recent inflation, maybe our estimates are not exactly, we don't really know what things cost until we put them out to bid. We're trying to look at what past projects have been cost-wise and move up, increase the cost of some of our projects, but it's purely speculative on where funding is gonna be and what bid prices are.
What's the trend? I mean, I assume it's
I think
steady
our-
up, or
I
is
think
it
our-
steady?
Well, we had, when COVID and the supply chain problems we had a fairly short-term increase where things went up around 30%. And that increase isn't continuing, at least it seems to be slowing down and being more like, regular finances. We're still seeing some increases, but it doesn't seem to be as
Drastic.
as drastic as it had been. So.
Excellent. Any other further discussion or questions? All right, roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
All right, we are on to number 16, This is the Veterans Affairs Commission Memorial Project, starting with 16A. This is the proposal, and our proposal is from Construct for $4,320. Kevin, would you like to come up and start sharing away on this wonderful project on a beautiful day?
Kevin Usbo, Director of Veterans Affairs. I'm just so overwhelmed and humbled every day we go to work, Sherry and I go to work, and we open up envelopes every day of all the outpour of everyone from the community and the state that have donated to this incredible project, to say thank you to the veterans of Marshall County and of Iowa that have served. It just humbles me. A month and a half ago, Construct approached me. Devin Stowell come up to my office and says, we want to donate all the labor, all the steel. We're going to charge you a nominal fee of $4,320 for the concrete. I'm like, wow, what an incredible gift. I mean, just incredible. It just doesn't stop. It just humbles me every day. I'm just baffled by the outpour from the community, from the Board of Supervisors for allowing us to place this on the courthouse property. From a vision last July, Jarrett sits in on our monthly meetings and says, yeah, let's place it over there. So we rolled it out publicly the middle of November for donations, and we have surpassed the money we thought we were going to raise in less than 5 months. Just incredible. My hat's off to everyone that's donated, the Board of Supervisors, everyone. I'm just so humbled by it. And to have groundbreaking today. I honestly thought maybe November of this year to have it. McCall Monuments, they're stepping up. We're hopeful we can roll it out for ribbon cutting on 9/11 this year. So it's just fascinating how fast it's growing, how fast it's coming to fruition. And like I say, now today with what Construct has proposed, we're going to break ground. So if anybody would like to stick around after the meeting, come out. We'll have the ground blessed and break ground and move forward.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kevin.
Well, thank you so much for all the legwork you put on this. This has been probably fun work.
Yes, it has. You know, it's busy work. You know, we help so many veterans from all around Iowa and everywhere. And I've got 7 different states of veterans I'm working with that have family that live here. And then to put this on top of it. But I love the outreach. I love working with the public. And just being out there.
And then for the proposals, we just received a proposal from Construct. There wasn't another proposal out
No,
there, correct?
no, that's the only
Yep.
one.
All right. And so that proposal is for total cost of $4,320 with $36,785 being donated. And so that's incredible.
That's
So
right,
we appreciate that, and that's it's just a testament to our veterans and to our people in Marshall County, and I think this is going to be a nice showcase to the entrance of downtown coming from the south, and you know, when you talk about our veterans and the sacrifice they did for us.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce who's here from Construct?
Yeah, Devin Stowell, would you step up? He's the gentleman that approached me. It actually started with one of the veterans we work with. He was down talking with some people at Construct, and their ears perked up and says, we want in.
Yeah.
So
Thank
it
you.
just grown from
Yes,
there
thank you.
and has brought it to where it's at.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm very humbled every day. We open up letters and there's checks. It's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just saying, you know, to thank you to all the veterans.
Great. So first we need to, we have the proposals presented to us here for 16A, and we do not really need to do anything with that. Go on to 16B, where we actually accept and award that quote that was received to us.
I'll
So,
make a motion.
I'll
To-
second that. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I
Well, I
think we've
I
had
was
enough
just going to do
discussion on
second,
it, so.
second the motion, so.
and that motion is to accept the quote as submitted in the
Yes, it is.
agenda. Perfect. So that worked in the amount of $4,320, and then with the $36,785 to be donated in time, which is incredible. So we appreciate that. All right, so we have the motion and second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Hibbs.
Yes.
Now on to 16C. This is accepting the Martha Ellen Ty Foundation grant award of $25,000 and approve the grant contract 2024-1 and authorize the chair to sign the grant acceptance.
I'll make the motion that we accept the Martha Ellen Ty Foundation grant award of $25,000 for the Veterans Memorial Project.
I'll second.
We have the motion, the second. Discussion. Obviously, we want to thank Martha Ellen Ty
Absolutely.
Foundation for jumping on board this project, and this is very helpful to the project being completed, and it, I think, fits very well in their vision, and it's working great for us, so we appreciate it.
I think the foundation board was pleased to see the broad-based community support for this, the support of the county, particularly the support of the supervisors. So I think it was important for them to see all of that support, and they were very pleased to be a part of it.
Yes. Any other discussion on accepting the Martha Ellen Ty grant? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Heil.
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Hibbs.
Yes.
Thank you again for everyone being here. We will do the groundbreaking. Were we doing it right after the meeting, or were we waiting until 10, or what?
Well, I figured this would run a little long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think 10, there was people coming. That's what you kind of advertised, I
We
think.
should probably wait till 10.
We'll
Yeah.
wait till 10 to do the official groundbreaking on that. So, and was there any other, on to 16E there, was there any further project update than what you shared with us before, Kevin?
Just all the grants being worked on, all the designs have been locked down, they're moving forward with all of that. The lighting's been ordered from Jay Reister, and they're gonna be doing the electrical. The flagpoles will be getting ordered probably sometime next month. And we're pretty much done, once construct gets done with the slab and all of that before it's done. We're just on hold till they finish all the granite and we're ready to deliver that.
Great.
So, yeah, it's like I say, it's just so fascinating that it's from a vision to reality, and today's a big reality check for me with groundbreaking and with what Construct is stepping up to do. I can't say thank you enough for everyone in the county and the state of Iowa, from the Iowa Veterans Trust and the Commission of Veterans Affairs, donating a big chunk of money out of the license plate fees.
Great. Thank you for that update. I think we're on to now, is there any other discussion on this project before we roll out to the groundbreaking, which will be fun in this wonderful weather today? Then that leads us on to public forum. Time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on the agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in public forum today. Is there anyone on Zoom? No other public comment for the public good?
We have the Dillon project going as we speak.
Yeah, Heartland Asphalt did begin milling on our Dillon Road project Monday. And so there's extensive pilot car use. We've had some, struggles with just getting everybody to, when you go through a residential area, people come out of their driveway, their first thought isn't wait, because but people need to, when they're milling in front of their residence, they need to wait for the pilot car to get in behind the pilot car and then proceed out. If you don't, you could end up head to head with the pilot car coming at you, and so anyway, it's just a matter of just, the contractor's gonna put some door hangers out that we probably should have done a little earlier, and to try to get everybody on the same page, but it's working, and it's a good project to get done. This is Heartland's first project of the season, so they got right with us, and
What's the timeline?
I would expect all 4 projects to be completed by, I'm putting myself in a corner, but mid to late May.
I won't hold you to
It all depends, well, I can't control the weather, otherwise I'd have started doing that a long time ago. But Yeah, they're gonna make good progress, and it'll be a good project.
Thank you, Paul. Any other questions for him? Any other public comment this morning? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to adjournment. Number 18, the next regular session is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024 at 9 a.m. here in the courthouse first floor meeting room, 1 East Main Street. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the County Auditor and Recorder's Office or the Board of Supervisors Office by Wednesday, April 17th, 2024 at noon. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting is adjourned at 9:35 a.m. And stick around for the groundbreaking here in 25 minutes right here on the southwest corner of the courthouse grounds.
Awesome. Get your little signy folder.